Hello, my friend. I have a special invitation for you. I have a new, potent, concentrated group coaching program called Crucible. We begin on April 10th. You can go check out timewitchery.com/crucible, and I'm going to tell you all about it at the end of the show. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
The biggest lie that we've been told, I just recently posted this, is that what we need is outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything that we have, that we need for success, for love, for joy, for beauty, for whatever, you name it, it's already inside of us, but it's up to us to actively seek it, activate it, maintain it.
And I love that word activate, actually, because it's not that you get the confidence and then you do the thing. You do the thing to get the confidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Welcome to Mind Witchery. I'm your host, Natalie Miller, and I'm so glad you're here. Hello, my darling. Welcome to Mind Witchery. Today, I have a Conjuring episode for you. And a conjuring means that I have invited another badass witch to join me and to talk about conjuring some kind of quality. And so I cannot think of another person, actually, more perfect to talk about conjuring self-confidence than the one and only King Moe. Hello, Moe.
Hey, hey.
Hey. Moe is an incredible photographer, and she's also just a force of nature and spirit. To hang with her is to just be inspired. It's like you are all the way in your body and skin, Moe. That's how it feels to me. So welcome to Mind Witchery. I'm so glad that you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
So really, our intense experience together, yours and mine, was me booking you, hiring you to take photographs of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have talked about this a couple other places that I'm going to say almost every woman, especially women in our 40s, have a very fraught relationship with our bodies and our appearances. But I knew that I needed to work with you because I had already seen, yeah, but felt the difference that the way you bring someone into a shoot makes. So would you just talk a little bit about how the hell you had me feeling so sexy and
Crawling on tables and shit.
I was crawling on tables. Don't worry, everybody. I'm gonna put in the show notes a little behind the scenes video from the shoot. But how do you do that? How do you help women feel so confident?
I got asked this question on my last podcast interview, and I don't really have a solid answer. It just comes through me. It's me being all of myself and just showing up as me, free as fuck, pretty much, which I feel like gives other women permission to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
For years and years and years, I've told myself, I want to get paid to be all of myself as I help others become more of themselves. And it's pretty much what I do.
Full stop right there. I want to get paid to be all of myself and to help others become all of their selves.
Yes.
Me too. That's what we do.
Yeah. And it just comes in different modalities.
Right.
One way that I do it is through photography. And then the other way that I do it is literally just showing up in a room and just literally being myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I had that power So probably about 8 or 9 years ago, I'll say I didn't own that power. I
Mm.
knew it existed,
Yeah.
but I didn't own it.
Mhm.
And I didn't start owning it until about 8 or 9 years ago when I opened my business.
Yes.
And then over the course of these years, it's been me just continuously stepping into it, over and over. And I feel like as I step into it, I bring more people along.
Okay. So this right here is exactly why you and I are perfect to be talking about this. So I love it so much. When you started owning it, how did you do it? How did you start to own that inspirational power? Because I think that's key to confidence.
I'll say this straight up. It was a process.
Mhm.
It's been a process, and it's been with me. The biggest thing for me has been canceling out outside noise,
Mm.
questioning shit that I was taught and told,
Mm.
and redefining things for myself. I feel like so many times as women, we look to other people. Of course, I say
Mhm.
that I'm a permission giver, but I don't want to say that in the sense like, hey, I grant you permission, because a lot of the
Right.
times we're taught to look to other people for our
Mhm.
confidence, for our approval, for all of those things. And I feel like when I started to cancel out that noise, that's when I started to grow stronger in myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done over all these years. So it's been a process of personal development
Mhm.
and sitting with myself a lot. I spend a lot of time alone. People see this big, huge personality. They see what I'm able to help and inspire other people to do, but they don't see the work that goes into maintaining this,
Mhm.
over time.
Yeah. So digging into that first piece around canceling out the outside noise. I mean, because it's true, right? We are so conditioned to look for approval, to look for permission, to be attuned to what other people think and feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that we are socialized that way. Especially as women, but really with anyone who's sort of, not granted full autonomy by
Autonomy.
our societal structures. In my work, so many people will be really interested in stepping into like a coaching container where they know that the coaching is going to help them do what they really want,
Mm-hmm.
or step into a photo shoot with you where they know that they are going to be in front of the camera, that they are going to be seen and showing up. And I think about how so many people will put conditions on that, right? It's like, well, when
Mm-hmm.
I lose the weight, when my hair grows out, when
Yep.
whatever it is, right? So for me, it'll be like, when I make the money, when I get the kids out of the house, it's like, it's all conditional, right? And so part of what I'm hearing you say there is that when you cancel out the outside noise, you're also sort of like
Mm-hmm.
removing some of those conditions. What do you think?
Canceling out that noise, removing those conditions. Because I feel like the biggest lie that we've been told, I just recently posted this, is that what we need is outside of ourselves.
Mhm.
I feel like everything that we have that we need for success, for love, for joy, for beauty, for whatever you name it, it's already inside of us. But it's up to us to actively seek it,
Mhm.
activate it,
Mhm.
maintain it.
And I love that word activate actually because it's not that you get the confidence and then you do the thing. You do the thing to get the confidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Right? It's not like, "Okay, let me feel beautiful, then I'll do the shoot,"
Right.
right? "Let me feel ready to make this big change, then I'll invest the coach." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, actually, book the shoot, then you'll feel beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Get the coach, then you'll feel ready to make the change," right? Like, that's the way that it goes.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, and that does I mean, I totally agree with you, like, I think that what we have is inside of us wanting to come out, but for me, and I don't you disagree with me, please. For me, that activation, it is actually a co-creation for me, right? Like to activate it, I gotta be taking action in the world, like making an offer or making an investment, doing a thing. But what do you think?
I feel like it can go both ways. For me, definitely, I feel like we're all here co-creating
Uh-huh.
at pretty much every level, whether we've realized it or not. Because I mean,
Mm.
we're all connected. We're all just energy, dense matter, whatever.
Yes.
But for me personally, I feel like that co-creation doesn't necessarily has to be attached to someone else or something else.
Mm.
Directly attached, I should
Mm-hmm.
say. And I say that because I spend so much time alone. And I'm not saying this is for every. I get called a hermit. I get called all these things, y'all. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I do feel like that time alone, whether you're connecting with spirit, animals, plants, whatever. I mean, it's still
Mm.
co-creating, but with you as the center and the
Yes.
focus. Yeah, that I guess that's what I'm trying to
Yes.
say.
Oh,
You
yeah,
as the
yeah, yeah.
center, as the focus, not
Mm-hmm.
those other things or people or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yes, because like we said, in co-creation, we are encouraged to put ourselves last on the list. It's
Hmm.
like, let me take care of my parents, let me take care of my kids, let me take care of my team, let me take care of my neighbors, let me take care of my friends. And then if there's any left over, which of course there never fucking is.
I'm here for self prioritization. And
Yes.
I'm so here for self prioritization, and I'm not here for it to be called selfishness. I'm so over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritize yourself, prioritize your joy. Otherwise, like you just said, what do you have left? You get the crumbs. No, I don't want y'all to get the crumbs. I was tired of the crumbs.
Me
Shit.
too. Me too. So tired of the
Hmm.
crumbs. It's interesting, like, I think that idea of self-prioritization, like, yeah, what all is in there? It's like prioritizing my health. Oh my gosh, right? Because I don't know, you definitely show up so boldly and brightly. And, it's funny, you're talking about the time that you spend alone. For me, I also like to be alone. And my alone time is like recharging time.
It is 1,000,000%. I have to have that time to recharge. Um, if I don't take that, I don't have anything to give.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, because I think when I'm in the world, when I am with someone, I am fully with you.
Hmm.
Like, I am uber present, and I felt that in our shoot. When you were taking pictures of me, like, I felt thoroughly supported. Like, you were so in it, in the experience with me, in the joy and the excitement and all of it.
And that's why when I'm done with the photo shoot, I can only do so many photo shoots a month, guys. Because when the photo shoot is over, like I've
Yeah.
given so much. Like it literally takes me like 2 days
Mhm.
to get back to me
Mhm.
or get back to my neutral. But it's not coming from an empty place. It's coming from like I don't even know how to describe it. Like I'm in a trance when I'm
Yeah.
on a set. I don't
Yes.
know any other way to describe when I'm working with someone. It really is an energy exchange.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, that you know what I love is, like, you clearly love it, like, you can feel the joy and love that you have for it, and I feel the same way in coaching. It's like, I am now a channel instead of, like, just, like, a contained entity.
Hmm.
It's like I've opened and this is a theory, right? This is a theory of creation and artistry, right? Is to sort of say that what we're doing when we do what we really love is we're remembering how enormous we are, right?
Mm,
We're getting access to that bigger energy that you kind
mm,
of
mm,
pointed
mm,
towards. It's
mm,
like,
mm,
what are
mm,
we
mm.
really?
It's like bouncing off the wall 20 feet out, like in radius. Like I promise you.
Totally, and it comes through the image, it comes through the prose, it comes, like, through the creation. So
Hmm.
how do we get to that place where we get to channel, where we get to kind of open up to that
Mm,
big, big energy so that that can come through? Because that's what really makes everything expand. That's what
yep.
brings the money in, that's what brings the happiness, everything. So how did you get there, Mo?
I would say, for me personally, start paying attention to those things that bring you that uber just sense of self and sense of joy and
Mm.
tap into that. Like for me, it was me going back to shit from my childhood. Photography and the transformation style of photography, y'all, I've been doing this since I was a kid. Literally, since I was a child. And of course, I allowed me chasing a dream, an American dream, went to college, got the degree, went to the corporate world, did all the shoulds, but never truly gave myself permission to tap into the things that I wanted to do. And I kind of forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just have to literally go back to like the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And allow yourself time to question and figure out what truly brings you joy, what lights you up, like what sets your soul on fucking fire. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? I'm a feeling person. I'm literally, if shit don't feel right,
Yes.
oh my gosh. Before, when it didn't feel right, when I felt like I was in, let's say, the Matrix. When it didn't feel right, I would
Mm-hmm.
still push through because it was what I should do.
Right.
It was what I was supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Now I allow myself to be like, nah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they kind of tell you, right? They kind of tell you, oh, yeah, feeling right is actually it's just past that finish line, right? So just get that promotion and then it's going to feel right. And you get that promotion and you're like, actually, this place still fucking sucks. Like,
it still sucks. And that's what happened. Like, I had climbed that corporate ladder. I was with the same type of company for almost 14 years. I had about 7 or 8 jobs within those 14 years, just trying to make it work for me.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I'm gonna go here and try this. This will make it better. I'm gonna go here and try. Nah, it wasn't.
Yeah. This is something I definitely resonate with in you also, actually, is that part of what I recommend and coach around is like you can just start doing what you want on an everyday basis.
I'm here for that.
Right?
This is
Yes.
do what you want. This is
do what you want.
Oh my God. Okay,
I know.
I got the best compliment ever in my life. My best friend came to my house last week, and I was literally doing whatever I wanted to do in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "You live like a retired person, but you ain't retired." I was like, "This is the best."
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Well, it's so funny. I talk about that in coaching all the time, how one time I saw this television commercial and it was like these people were like, they were going up to this, like, I don't know, there was like this glass structure in a park and they were going up to it and they were drawing like a sailboat and then the sailboat would come alive. They would go up and they would draw like a garden and then the garden would come alive. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. What is this commercial about? Retirement plans. I was like,
but that's the shit they sell us. They sell us we gotta wait until we're like 70, 80 to enjoy life and to have all these things. I'm determined to do that now on my own terms, on my own timeline.
I love that so much. Yeah.
I love doing what I want.
Yeah, me too. I love when you realize, okay, I want to take a nap and I can't because I have meetings this afternoon. Okay, meetings this afternoon isn't working for me, right? I want to be able to have an open morning, an open, spacious morning where I can like meditate or have coffee and journal or whatever the shit we want to do, right? And it's like, oh, but in the mornings I have no help getting the kids ready, etc. Right? I don't want to say, oh, it's just so simple. No, you'll have to make changes, right? You'll have to make some changes, but doing what you want it's kind of like a divining rod, right? It's going to help you figure out.
It's possible.
Yes.
Just knowing that it's possible. I feel like so many women, especially, don't even give themselves, that permission to even know it's possible. They constantly think, oh, I can't. But there's ways in there that you can. And as you find more of those ways, you build that confidence to do and do differently or more. And that's how it happened for me. It, like, even with my business, I realized when I first started this business, I structured it like the business and the business that I came from. Had these hard deadlines, hard timelines. I worked from here to, I'm like, why? And it took me a moment to realize, hey, all you're doing is modeling what you just came from. How is this helping you? It just got your name on it.
Right.
That's all. So how is this different? And then I started, I don't want to work on weekends. I'm a photographer. I don't shoot on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Other people will look at me like I'm crazy as hell. You're a photographer. No,
Right.
that doesn't work for me. I
Mm-hmm.
shoot on Tuesdays and Thursdays because those are the days that work for me.
Totally.
And I kind of I do structure my life. It's very unstructured, but it's structured with a lot of freedom. But this has come with me doing little things over time to get to this retired at 44, but not retired
Yes,
lifestyle,
totally. Right. Yeah. Working and living exactly how you want to work and
Mm-hmm.
live. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. So I think that one of the things that comes to mind there for me is that's another way that conditioning to look outside of ourselves comes in, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yep.
someone once who was like, okay, this is what you need to do. If you want a successful podcast, you need to batch record. You need to choose a day of the month and you need to sit down. You need to record all your episodes. And I was like, nope. Thank goodness I know by now.
Mm.
No, batch nothing works for me. What
Mm-hmm.
works for me is last week I'm like, ooh, I want to talk to Mo. Hey, Mo, you want to talk next week? And Mo's like, yeah, let's talk next week. And here we are.
Inspired living is what I'm calling it.
Yes, inspired. And meaning like it has the spirit in it. It's alive. And
Mm-hmm.
listen, if batch recording works for you, you do you, because that is
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
that sounds lovely, but that doesn't work for me. And you would be amazed, Mo, because this is what I do for a living. I help people hear what they want to do and do it. It's like, but you would be amazed how, well, you wouldn't because that's challenging,
Yeah.
right?
There's so much unlearning in here. There's so much shame, guilt. Like all the things get used against, we use it against ourselves. It's used against us and then we use it against ourselves.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the way that works, right, is like, let's say somebody tells you, no, Mo, you have to photograph on the weekend. Like you're a photographer, that's what photographers do. So you force yourself to do it. And because you're not feeling it, the photos are not great, right? And you don't feel good. And then you
And
don't
my
have
energy is discompacted. It's here. It's not here.
exactly,
Here.
right? But the way that the conventional wisdom would have it is, oh, you must not be a very good photographer,
Mm-hmm. You got
right?
a block there.
You've got a block, right? Yeah. So for me, it would be like if I tried to batch record this shit, mind witchery would not exist because
Mm-hmm.
I can't work that way. It can't.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I have no deadlines. I have a commitment. I will release an episode every Thursday. But when I will record that and how I will record that, I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be open because me, like you, I need a lot of freedom.
If I don't have freedom, I literally I shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I shut down. And this is kind of on a tangent, but I just feel moved to say this.
Mm.
When I first started my business, of course, I sought the help of experts, and not just first started up until probably like a year and a half ago. Again, looking outside of myself, not truly trusting myself. I'm hiring coach after coach, program after program. When I get in there, none of the stuff resonates with me, so I don't do it.
Yep.
And even if I do it, again, it's done in a way that I'm not really feeling this. So of course, it'll maybe pay off a little bit, but there was nothing about that I could maintain.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, it was not. It wasn't helping me. I had all this knowledge, all these templates, all these blueprints that work for other people. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I sat with myself and was like, look, I need you to honor what you do, what you know is right, and what works for you. And that's when things really start to move for me and open up and
Yes.
expand for me.
Yes.
Is when I stopped looking at what everybody else was doing, stopped looking at these people as knowing more than me. All I needed to do was truly tap into more of me and put
Yeah.
that out to the world. I
Yeah.
don't know where
Yeah.
that came from, y'all, but I just had to put it
No,
out
well,
there.
it's so key, right? Because that's the way that I coach. That's exactly what I want to do is to help people say, okay, let's say I hire an advisor. Let's say I hire someone to help me. I hire a consultant, I hire an advisor. I'm still going to show up, like you said, with me at the center. So when they say, okay, here's what we have to do, you say, wait a minute, I don't want that. this sounds good. This doesn't sound good. I'm still got to tap into me because this is actually not about what you think is going to work. This is about what I feel good about.
Feel,
Yes.
feel that. I feel like those feelings can carry you further
Mhm.
than those tactical, strategical
Yep.
shit. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm, yeah, and it's a reason, right, that we have to find amazing co-creators. We have to find people, like, if we like you said, we're co-creating all the time, and so if I do want help with something, because I can't do everything
Right.
myself.
This is true now. I'm not saying that, y'all. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, yeah, right? So it's like, okay, I gotta find the people where I know that it's not about them, it's about me, right? Like, they're showing up in a way that's actually meant to support me, and they are listeners of me, right?
Not just tellers of me what to do because they did it that way. You know, when there
Exactly.
a lot of the times those people come into position and they're highly regarded and they just get used to telling people what to do instead of listening,
Yes.
and then responding,
Mhm.
you know.
I think you do that in a shoot. I what I feel is you listening, feeling into this is how I felt with you, listening to me, feeling into my energy and moving with that. So
Mhm.
even like I remember I came in with all my stuff and you were like, "Okay, I think this is gonna be the order of things." And then I know that changed because of how it was feeling
Mhm.
and what we were making together. Yeah.
I love to leave room for that because you just never know. And then I read, and it's not something that I could tell you guys how I do it, but I read energy. And I'm not always right, but I read energy and we just kind of go with the flow. It's a dance. My
Mm,
photo shoots is literally a dance with my muse
yeah.
and just kind of feed off each other.
Yeah. I think that there's something about you showing up in that way and doing that, that like A opens the channel, right? So, I mean, some people I think, oh, confidence is I always know what to do. And I'm
Mm-mm.
like, no, I don't think that's what it is. Cause actually, some of the times when I did the thing that was not the best to do helped me build confidence because I did that thing. I did not get the result I expected, but it didn't destroy me.
But did you
Like,
die? That thing,
I did
yeah.
not. Yeah. Right? And in the end, I chose me, right? So I don't think, yeah, confidence isn't like, okay, I know exactly what to do. I have the plan. What is it then?
It's not rigid.
Yeah.
Confidence isn't rigid at all. I don't feel like confidence is rigid.
No, I don't think so
Mm-mm.
either.
Then when you see rigid confidence, it's not real.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yes. When you see unfailing confidence, that shit is a mirage.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because it's alive, right? I looked
Mm-hmm.
up the etymology of it. I love looking at like, the origins of words and
Mm-hmm.
confidence, it's self-trust,
Bam, there you go.
right? Fidere is like, sorry, Latin folks, if I didn't say that right, but like it's self-trust. Like
Mm.
it's not confidence is, oh, I always win. I'm perfect. Like, well, no.
Mm-mm.
I mean, yes and no, right? Because perfection has its mess in it.
Or I'm always right, that sense
Yes.
of perfection. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I'm always right. It's like in a lot of ways for me, I don't what do you think of this? In a lot of ways for me, my self-trust is actually fortified by times I've been wrong and turned it around.
Hmm.
Times I've been wrong and
Yep, you nailed it.
kept going anyway,
It's that
right?
point of reference. For me, it's that point of reference. Yes, I've fucked this up before, but I've also figured things out on top of that. I'll be fine. Literally, that's how my life works.
Yeah, mine too. Mine
Mhm.
too. And so it's like this living, breathing thing. So how do you feed it? How do you feed this animal?
Oh, so many different ways. First of all, I'm always doing something, even if I'm doing nothing.
Mm,
So I feed my mind with good words and
yes.
books and surroundings, and like if
Mm,
you see my home is like it's my zen place with my plants and just things that matter to me.
mhm.
I read a lot, guys. I read books that I feel like help me to help myself and help me to help other people. I work a lot, but most of my work is on myself.
Yeah.
It's not work for the rest of the world.
Mhm.
Most of my
Mhm.
work is on myself in some way that brings me joy.
But I will say though, I think that, like, when working on ourselves is for the world
Well,
because
yes, it is for the world, but it's not for the world.
yes.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it's for me, but yeah, the world gets the benefit
Yeah, yeah,
from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the world gets to benefit because the world has a very imbalanced way of looking at someone like you, right? To imagine that, "Oh, this is someone who's here for everyone else." And so
Hmm.
when you are working on you, it's a revolutionary act, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very, very, very much so.
I also feed my confidence through reading books, podcasts, those kinds of things. Also, travel.
Oh, honey, let's not even go there.
I know.
You knew what you was
I
doing.
know. I
You
knew.
just woke up a
I knew
beast over here.
I know, right? But right, like, and that's actually been well, you have traveled. I've traveled a bit in COVID. You've traveled a lot.
I traveled all of COVID. It's been probably the most traveling that I've done. But traveling again, traveling, being in these different places. Where even if I don't speak the language, I always try. But even if I don't understand anything that's going on around me, to be able
Mm,
to exist in a place where I don't speak the language, I don't know the people, I don't know the land, and still feel I'm still there and I still feel safe. To me, that's self-trust. That's all kind of confidence that I navigate these different continents by
yes.
myself.
Yes. Yes.
That,
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
travel feeds my soul. Travel definitely feeds my confidence. And I encourage other women to travel more. I'm not saying you have to be a solo traveler. I just happen to love
Yeah.
solo travel. But if you can
Mhm.
take some time for yourself, even if you go an hour away, get away.
Yeah.
Do it. That hour
Yeah.
will turn into two, will turn into a flight, will turn into a different continent.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so with you on that. And, there's for me, there's, like, various magical ingredients, and, like, one of them, like you said, is just like, wow, look at how resourceful I am. So
Hmm.
even when
Figure it out.
I don't
Hmm.
know where I am, and I don't know what people are saying, and I can't read the signs, I'm fine. I'm
Hmm.
okay. I'm resourceful. I can figure it out. And
Hmm.
really, so much of it comes down to that, right?
Hmm.
Like, I can figure it out.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it. And it's like when I'm in other countries, like I said, even if I don't speak the language, I can always communicate with people.
Mhm,
There's always a way to communicate with people.
mhm.
And I just trust myself that I'm going to be able to communicate. I'm going to be able to have what I need and vice versa, and I'll be good. And then I also have those points of references to go back to that
Yeah.
continue to like solidify
Mhm.
the journey and the confidence.
Yeah. Something that comes to me here too is that like something that like our reading and our creativity and our traveling all have in common is it just reminds us how big the world is and
Hmm.
all these things that are possible,
Yes.
right? And if it's possible in the world, it's like, oh, it might actually be possible for me.
I believe in unrealistic possibilities. I believe in all the I'm one of those people that feels like if I dream it, it can be done. If I desire it, you know, I want that for other people because I
Yeah.
see so many people, especially women, that limit themselves, that limit their dreams, that limit what they're capable of before they even give it a try. And like you said, with that action, you build that confidence. As you
Mhm.
try, you just continue to level up.
Yeah. And in the beginning, it might be like, "You know what? I'm not gonna work on Friday afternoons." It might be really little. Yes,
Little. You don't have to
so
start big, take these big quantum leaps, guys. You know, I'm a big
no.
stepper, but it starts with a small baby step most of the time.
It does. It starts with a small baby step to just say, "Well, okay, let me just like, what do I want right now? Right now, I really want a tea from my favorite tea place, so
Mhm,
I'm just gonna take a break.
mhm,
I'm gonna go get my tea. I'm gonna come back." And it's like that little tiny step,
mhm,
I think it's you practicing doing what you
mhm.
want.
How you want to feel? Like, how do I want to feel right now?
Yes.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you seeing that you actually have a say in how you feel.
Yes, it's
It
empowering.
it's you seeing that the world does not fall apart. Like, actually, you are not holding up the world.
Mhm. So we put a lot of that on ourselves.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
so much of that shit is it's not necessarily what will happen. It's our imagination, but we live our life like
Mm,
it's the end
mhm,
all be all. And
mhm.
you give yourself that coffee break, that tea time. The world didn't fall apart. What else you gonna give yourself the next time? Again,
Ex exactly, exactly. Is that could you go away for the
right,
weekend? Could you go away for
right,
the weekend? Could you go to Peru for 3 weeks?
right. Could you go to Mexico for a couple months?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, entirely. Okay, so let's do a little review here. So, number 1, self-confidence is built through action. It comes when you do the thing, not before you do the thing. You have to do the thing to get it, basically.
And the thing doesn't have to be climbing a mountain, y'all.
Right.
Like it doesn't. The thing does not have to be this huge monster of a thing. It
Yeah.
could be like a little minion of a thing.
Yeah, yeah. And an asterisk here, right? Like, here we're saying, like, "Do what you want. Easy. Do what you want." Please know, we know, Mo and I know, the whole world is set up to tell you that what you want is unreasonable,
Hmm.
selfish, not possible, all those things. So we don't mean to say, "Oh, yeah, no problem, it's easy." We mean to say, "Oh, no, no, we see the obstacles, but we jump over them every day."
Hmm.
And you can too.
Go around them, duck them, dodge them. I mean, you know what? Then you become really agile and limber, y'all.
Yes.
And then life gets real good. It just keeps getting good.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, so you gotta take action. You gotta do what you want. It is not about being perfect.
Mm-mm.
It is not about never making a mistake.
Not at
Actually, the
all.
mistakes will be even more valuable.
The mistakes will feed you guys. They will feed you. They will be good food. It might not taste good going down, but it's
Mm-mm.
good nutrients. How about that?
It's good. Very yeah, yes, very nutritious, right?
Yes.
And then self-confidence is it's this living thing that we have to feed.
And there's ebbs and flows with it too.
Yes.
Understand that, guys. We all need those reminders. We all need that time and space
Mm,
to get back to us. It's not you're just constantly pushing forward. I'm confident, like up this continuous uphill thing. It's gonna
yes.
go. It's gonna
Oh,
flow.
it's totally gonna go because sometimes we do things tell me if this resonates with you, Mo, but sometimes we do things where we make a big, big expenditure from our self-confidence account. So where
Oh,
it's
you're
like,
good.
okay,
You're
right?
good.
It's like, okay, I've been building this, I've been doing what I want, I have energy, the world doesn't fall apart when I do what I want. So what I really wanna do is end this business and start another one. So what I really wanna do is hire a PR agency and start showing up on television. Maybe you know someone who
Yeah,
is
I'm just
really
saying.
right? Yeah, and so it goes from, "Oh, look at me on my website," to, "Oh, look at me on daytime television."
Can I give y'all a story about me and daytime TV? I'm
Do
gonna
it, do
just
it.
give y'all the real for real. Okay, so recently I was on national TV, daytime TV on the Tamara Hall show. Big moment, wasn't nervous. Natalie was up in there with me. It was so cool,
I
so
was.
dope. And then I rode that high. I rode that high. About 2 weeks later, I crashed.
Yeah,
Crashed. I was like, I don't want this shit no
right. Yes.
it got to be so real. Like it didn't hit me in the moment. It didn't hit
Mhm,
me for a couple of weeks afterwards. And I was literally like, I don't know if I would really like this.
mhm.
I don't know if I really want this. But I
Mm,
think so much of it was my confidence container had just got depleted. I needed to refuel because now I'm
yes.
back like it never, like
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
It's like, oh, what's
Oh,
next? I'm
yeah.
ready for this. But a lot of reality started to hit me at once. A lot of
Yes.
people started to, be in my ear. It was just a lot. So I had to get back to myself, center myself,
Whew.
get all that back. So now I'm here to say, yes,
Mhm.
I love it again. But there was a moment where I had a complete
Yes.
meltdown,
There's a moment.
shut down. Like, no,
Yeah.
that ebb and that flow.
Mhm. Yeah, and it often does come. I mean, that's why it's like, trust us. The successes are harder in some ways to integrate than the failures. Like, the failures, I'm like, "Okay, I can learn from here." The successes, it's like,
Wait a
"Who
minute.
am I? What is this like?" Yeah,
Hmm.
it can be really
Hmm.
disorienting for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so I love this last kind of piece that also I like Mo is here on team alone time. Self-confidence, you gotta like check in with yourself. You gotta be alone. You gotta like really kind of
I
recenter.
say go within. I don't want people to think you have to be, because not everybody can handle it,
Yeah,
handle solitude the way that I love solitude, and I understand that.
we are all different.
But
Yeah.
at some point, know that what you need is in here and not
Yes.
out
Yeah.
there. And it can look different. How you spend your alone time, how you go within, make it work for you. It may not mean sitting in a room in silence like I do.
Yeah.
It could be in a coffee shop by yourself or,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Make it work for you. Your life is completely customizable. And I want people to
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to look
totally.
like me, doesn't have to look like Natalie. Make it look like you. Make it work for you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. And I love this idea of like checking in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how am I feeling? How does this feel to me?
What do I need? Yeah.
That piece, yeah. And then I think this complements doesn't contradict, but I will say also choose co-creators who can help you step into yourself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
chose Mo. I chose to get my pictures taken with Mo because I could just feel a power in her work that I had seen glimmers of in me, and I was like, "I need some help bringing this out. I can feel it inside, but I need help bringing it out."
It's like two fuses, kind of like,
Yeah.
you bring something, I bring something, and here we have
Yes.
this spark,
We have a
that.
spark. Yeah. Yeah. It's so I mean, it's beautiful, right? And so choosing those co-creators, whether it's like the author of the self-help book that you're reading or the host of this podcast that you like, or the
Mhm.
photographer that takes pictures of you, or the coach that is gonna help you to self-orient,
I agree.
right? Not a consultant where it's all about them. A coach who's gonna help you orient toward yourself and to hear what you're saying.
I've definitely had that, and so I speak to a lot of this alone, this silence, but I've had the coaches that the
Mhm.
co-creative pieces, the energy healers, like all of those that have helped me get to
Yes.
this space. That
Yes.
helped me
Yes.
maintain this. I do not do this alone. I have a whole, I
Yeah.
know it may seem like it, but I have a team of what I call Avengers
Oh,
that support me on this quest.
I love it. I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a whole healing squad team. They
Mhm. And
all
it looks different. I
yeah.
have a skate coach, like my skate coach, roller skating coach. I have a swim coach, an energy healer. Like I have all these people that help me add to me.
Mhm. And do you know what I love is that these people in the world, my people too, like I have an
Hmm.
intuition coach, I have a I have an energy coach, I have a mindset coach. All of these people are also doing what they want and what
Yes.
they love. So it's
It's so
ah!
great. Yes.
Mo and I
Yes.
now are basically like we are jumping, dancing in our chairs because this is the thing. Y'all, we can build this.
Yes.
We can make this world.
Oh, I'm about to cry, y'all. I just saw this whole utopia of everybody being themselves, doing what they love, sharing their gifts and helping other people. Like, this what it's all about.
It's possible. It's possible. We can build it. We can build it, right? But I will tell you this, like no one is going to build it for us. And they kind of
Nah.
can't because we're all necessary. right? We're all necessary.
Oh, I love this.
I'm not going to get this quotation right, but Barbara Sher, who's one of my favorites, she's like an OG self-help lady. She says something like, you must follow your dreams. You have to, because we are all depending on you to do that. If you don't do what you want, if you don't do what's possible, you're fucking it up for us. Right?
Yes.
It is actually you doing what you want.
That's what changes the world, y'all. Believe it or not, that's what changes the world. It's not you being necessarily a good student or a good, like all those boxes that they try to put us in. It's you being a good you.
Yeah.
It's you being a good you.
Yes, yes. And that weird ass thing that you think might be possible, you are the one to bring it through.
Mm-hmm.
Retired at 44, but not. You're the one to show how to do that. We it's that President Obama thing, right? Like we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones who are going to do this. We have to do it, and it's choice by choice. And it really does start with take a fucking nap if you want to take a nap.
Seriously, y'all.
Seriously. Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
Okay, Mo. So how do the good people come and get more of your magic and goodness? Where shall we send them?
I would love for you guys to follow me over on Instagram. You don't see a lot of my work on Instagram, but you see a lot of me.
Yes.
And I don't mean physically, visually. I mean my heart. I show a lot of my heart and just what I believe in and what I stand for. So that's where you should start.
Mm-hmm.
And then my website. So I'm at I'm King Moe on Instagram. My website is incomparable.com. So pretty simple.
Yes.
Follow me over there, interact with me. All the magic is really in my stories. So you see the foolishness and the freeness of me being me.
Yes. And start following now so that in July, when Mo and I are together in New Mexico making just incredible amounts of magic, you can be in on that because it's going to be
a movie.
It's going to be phenomenal. All right. Well, Mo, thank you so much for being here. You were the perfect person to talk to about conjuring self-confidence. I love you and appreciate you.
Thank you. Same. Thank you for what you've shared. Because I always learn something when I do these. So this has enhanced me in my morning. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, sweetheart. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mind Witchery. To catch all the magic I'm offering, please subscribe to the show. Or if you want a little bit of weekly witchiness in your inbox, sign up for my Sunday letter at mindwitchery.com. If today's episode made you think of a friend or loved one, your sister, your neighbor, please tell them about it. We need more magic makers in this troubled world. Like all good things, this podcast is co-created by stellar people. Our music is by fabulous DJ, artist, and producer Shammy D. Our gorgeous art is by the sorcerers at New Moon Creative. Mind Witchery is produced in conjunction with Particulate Media, K.O. Myers, executive producer. And I am Natalie Miller. Till next time. Hello. As promised, here is a little bit of info about my new group coaching program called Crucible. You know what a crucible is? A crucible is a container in which transformation occurs. It's a strong container, basically like where you melt down metals so that you can make new things. You can make alloys. And my program is called Crucible because it is designed to give you a space where you can summon the courage, the inspiration, the momentum that you need to finally take action on, to finally manifest that thing that you have been wanting to do. And what is that thing? I don't know. That thing might be a new offer if you are an entrepreneur. That thing might be the idea for the book that's been swirling around in your head. It might be an outline for that book. It might be a whole short story. That thing might be a job description for the assistant that you've been wanting to hire. That thing might be your own podcast. Whatever that thing is that you keep thinking, oh, someday I'd really love to make this happen. Crucible says, let's do it now and let's do it together. So Crucible offers 7 weeks of group coaching. Crucible offers insight into how it is exactly that I take an idea and make it real. Right? Now, this is not about me kind of imposing my method onto you, but it is about sparking your own creativity and insisting on a self-honoring way of creating. Yeah? Crucible is about community with other people who are also making it happen. And I cannot even begin to put into words how valuable that is. How much of a difference it makes to be surrounded by other people who are expanding and growing into what's next. Crucible is in large measure about helping you to claim the time and energy that you need to create what's next. And so we'll use my anti-planner, Time Witchery, to do that. We will use co-working sessions that are hosted by Flow Club. I'm very excited about that part in particular. So Crucible is not assuming that you have the willpower and courage and time and energy to make this thing happen. In fact, Crucible says, oh yeah, let's give you a place to generate that, to generate all that you need in order to manifest what it is that you want next. So you are invited. You can go check out Crucible at timewitchery.com/crucible. We begin on April 10th. We go through April and most of May. And then we get to take off for the summer, having finally taken action on that thing that you've been toying with, flirting with, wondering about, dreaming about for so long. So again, more details at timewitchery.com/crucible. I super hope you will meet me inside.